Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today is going to be essentially a filler video, as I was hoping to have a video ready for you guys for the Buffalo, have it replay, but unfortunately I just didn't have any spectacular games that would be highly entertaining for you guys, and I guess that is kind of the woe of a YouTuber, especially playing World of Warships for you guys, is always trying to find that very entertaining, very high nitro inducing game that it reminds me of the Gladiator scene. Are you not entertained? Yeah, anyways. So unfortunately the Buffalo is gonna have to wait as far as taking a look at her, because I really want to kind of see how she compares to the Baltimore. Now that Buffalo obviously has taken her spot, so instead this is going to be a replay in the Missouri, and this was actually a very close battle. Very close battle. I am joined with Ty in the Fletcher and Ian in the Rune, and we are in a tier 10 match. So overall it's going to be very, very interesting. Now they do have about 4 or so radars, and it's going to be interesting. Now the Missouri is a ship I don't play all too often. It's just not I'm not saying it's a bad ship. It's probably one of the few tier 9 premiums that you can get, and probably one of the better tier 9 premiums you can get. Obviously you can no longer get it because they completely removed it. So if you're wanting to get the Missouri, well, you better hope that Wargaming decides to bring it back for whatever reason, but it doesn't seem like they will. Missouri, I mean, it's a very powerful ship. It's very accurate. It has radar, which makes it very, very dangerous for enemy DDs. As you can see, Chungmu is obviously being spotted, but the reason why I did pop my radar was the fact there is actually an entire smoke cloud just to the west of B, and I was hoping to see what was in there. It looks like it is the Chapayev, which is interesting. Looks like the Chungmu was pretty much getting set up for his friendlies pushing out the western side, and for the most part the enemy team is going to be predominantly heavy on this western front, and it's going to be a close battle. I will tell you this much. Alright, so our team has essentially kind of broken off where we are predominantly in the south, while at the exact same time we have sent at least 3 ships up towards C. However, they're not really pushing in as heavily as you would want, but it's alright. We'll see how things progress. Anyway, shots off on the North Carolina do around 20,000 points of damage, and obviously I don't really want to go around that corner. There is obviously the Chungmu and all those battleships out to the north of us, that it would just be downright suicide. So instead I'm obviously going to be turning in and getting into a little bit safer position, and just, oh my word, there's also the enemy Shimikaze that is currently in at B, and is currently capturing B quite easily, because our friendly Shimikaze has been forced to pull back because of the fact that there is the Chapayev and the Des Moines and the Missouri all to the west of B. Now unfortunately we have just lost 2 ships. We have just lost our Chapayev to the Montana, and things are going to be a little bit rough. Now unfortunately I've kind of got it myself into a, well, I kind of want to say secure position, but at the exact same time I'm not really able to assist my teammates out that much. However, a nice thing about this position is the fact that the enemy team really can't push around that corner as easily as they would like. A lot of the battleships don't really want to push around a corner where they do have a potential of being citadeled. We are now officially spotted by the Chungmu. Pop our radar, and AP against destroyers normally over penetrations, but yikes. 10,000 points of damage. Chungmu is left alive with 484 points of health, and he needs to go down. Unfortunately, we are going to have to reload our guns, and that is obviously going to take a little while. And hoping that Ty or even Ian in the rune could take out the Chungmu. Shells are reloaded, however, Chungmu finally goes down to Lord E in the rune. So now we've kind of, well, not really kind of brought it back. Honestly, we're still behind in points. We are still behind in ships because the enemy team has both A and B, and they are currently capturing C. So things aren't looking so hot for us at the moment. Once again, I do have to be careful because if I push around this corner, I have a Kurfürst and a Missouri, and I believe even a North Carolina on that side. But it does look like our Montana does take out the enemy Neptune, which does bring us, well, it did bring us back as far as number of ships available for each side. But this Buffalo is in a very precarious position now. It looks like our positioning is actually really nice. Let's see, Buffalo broadside, shots off. Surely RNG would be not rude to us. Or my aim could be worse. I don't know. Choose what you think, but unfortunately we get only over penetrations on that Buffalo. And as you can see, we are currently being radared, and our Shimakaze has made a very, very poor choice coming into this position. Oh no, oh no. So unfortunately Shimakaze is going to go down, just due to the fact that there is so much radar on the side. Honestly, I think the Shimakaze probably should have gone over towards C, or even tried to help over at D, as the enemy Shimakaze is currently pushing into D, and the enemy team has 3 caps. The only reason why we're not losing outright is the fact that we have managed to at least kill 3 of their ships, but we are still down a ship, and we are currently losing our last cap. So we need to do something, anything, and I think it's gonna be obvious that I need to get out of this position because I am of no assistance to my team. I do go ahead and pop my radar just to try to spot anything for our team as quickly as possible. Obviously my main focus is going to be taking out this Buffalo. He is by himself, which is going to make him a very squishy target, and that's kind of how the Buffalo is. She is kind of a squishy ship. Let's see, I was hoping maybe they'd be stupid, show me a lot of broadside, but even with not a lot of broadside, we can still do almost 12,000 points of damage. But now we're able to get out of that position and pull away as quickly as possible. And of course that Buffalo sits with about 1,000 points of health. Oh, let's try to get out of here as quickly as possible. It looks like we are getting bombarded probably by the Hindenburg and Des Moines, but there's the Buffalo finally spotted. Let's see if we can take him out once for all. There we go. Finally took out that Buffalo that has brought us even with the enemy team, gained us a little bit more points, and now we're able to pull away and hopefully get into a better positioning right now. Now, fortunately for us, our teammates are in fact trying to go after this enemy Shimakaze that has been a downright pester to our team, that has actually been doing a really good job capping. And that's something you really need to keep in mind whenever playing this game, is do the objective. I mean, damage is nice, but I mean, if you don't do the objective, you are going to lose. We do get a Citadel on the North Carolina, but unfortunately we have just lost our Yamato. There was a great battle in the north against a Yamato and the Montana. So things are still a little dicey here at the moment. And I kind of wish I could tell how many ships were being aimed at me, because it seems like it's quite a few. Missouri's showing a lot of broadside, but I don't think we're going to get a Citadel, but at least we got a hit to do a little bit of damage, which is always nice. But there is a enemy Hindenburg that is playing very carefully. He's actually been using that island there for some time, just spamming HE quite readily. Now we do have a friendly Yamato, which is our last tier 10 battleship, and he is going to prove his worth. Or better yet, we have two Yamatos. I completely forgot about this other one. This Yamato captain here is going to prove his worth quite heavily, as you will see in a little bit. Enemy Chapayev was spotted. Is a very squishy ship, but unfortunately not able to get him, which is unfortunate. But now we're able to heal, and we're able to actually start bringing back. We are going to try to capture the B cap. We have officially captured the C cap. We do have a friendly, actually, I'm trying to remember, friendly Des Moines that is currently trying to go after the enemy Shimakaze, but that enemy Shimakaze is going to be a ninja, a downright ninja that the Des Moines is going to have a very difficult time to actually deal with. Now, unfortunately for Lord E, he does come around the corner, and there is a Kurfürst and a Des Moines. Fortunately, Kurfürst does not focus on Lord E, but instead obviously focus on the friendly Yamato, who is low on health. And now we're able to get into a position where we might be able to try to assist our team. We are officially starting to capture B. That has obviously brought our points a little bit back, and unfortunately we have just ate a citadel from that enemy Missouri, and obviously we're gonna have to try to angle as much as possible from him. That Missouri is very healthy. Our Kronstadt is very low in health. Yamato is starting to push in as well, and this is probably another example of when a battleship needs to push in. If you don't push in as a battleship, you can't really assist your team, because that's pretty much what battleships are designed for, is the ability to push in and try to take damage and try to deal damage. Now that Des Moines is incredibly low in health, and Lordy did ask for spotting because he was so low in health, so we should be able to take out this Des Moines here in a moment. He's incredibly low in health. Kurfürst is now starting to come around the corner, and that's not something I really want to see, because I am not angled at all. But it does look like the enemy Missouri is no longer focusing on us, so we're able to at least get turned in and get a little bit of angling just to prevent any further damage to this Kurfürst. Now the Kurfürst obviously decides the same. And here's one good tactic for any of you battleship captains that are facing with a more angled target, is don't aim for the belt armor, aim for the superstructure, because if you do that, you can get fairly decent penetration, and there goes down the Kurfürst. So really good tactic to use. You want to use that whenever possible, because you can take out and deal significant amount of damage against a angled battleship. So with that done, we're now actually ahead in ships. However, that Missouri is still being a downright pain. Their Chapayev is currently sitting. I was hoping he'd speed up, but it does look like he is not going to. And yeah, Orpan. Alright, well, it does look like the Kronstadt did try to ram the enemy Missouri, but unfortunately goes down before you get that ram off. And now it is the Yamato and the Missouri versus the enemy Missouri. And this is another tactic you don't really get to use very much in high tier battleship gameplay, is brawling. Oh, I miss the good old days of brawling. But it does look like the friendly Yamato does take out the Chapayev. The Shimakaze does take out our friendly Des Moines, so we are now even on ships. I'm incredibly low on health, but this is another tactic you have to learn as a battleship, is how to brawl. You can see there, just did a citadel, destroyed one of his turrets. Now we have our back gun as well, zoomed out, and well, we almost had the kill. Yamato does take out the enemy Missouri, which now leads us in the lead, and all that's left on the enemy team is a Shimakaze and a Hindenburg that has now decided it's a good time to actually push out. Honestly, I think the Sendenberg should have pushed out a little bit sooner. I think he probably could have torped me to death, or at least done a significant amount of damage, but instead has waited till the last moment to do, well, this. Come out and essentially go from near full health to dead. But hey, at least we earn Confederate. Yamato gets the kill on the Hindenburg. I believe that is kill number 4 for him. He was incredibly close to a Kraken, but unfortunately the only ship left on the enemy team is the enemy Shimikaze, and the enemy Shimikaze is currently capturing C. Now unfortunately, die has gone down in the Fletcher by the enemy Hindenburg, but we still have Lord E alive in the rune. However, he's actually incredibly low on health, as you can see there. But right at the moment, the enemy Shimikaze is currently capturing C. He's trying to get their points back up. However, time is limited, and the possibility of caps is also limited. I mean, at the moment, myself and the Yamato are fairly close to B. A is not a particularly good option because, well, A is currently captured by the enemy team, so that leaves D. So the enemy Shimikaze probably will go towards D. So good thing is the Yamato is currently capturing A, and Lord E is going to try to go towards D. Now I am taking my time. I do actually get my turrets kind of facing to the left just in case that enemy Shimikaze comes around this corner as we are located. And RPF is a good indicator for both sides. RPF obviously allows you to know the closest ship to your ship, but at the exact same time it lets the enemy team know when you're the closest ship to their ship. And since there's only the Shimikaze, that must mean I'm no longer the closest ship to this Shimikaze, which means Lord E is the closest ship to the Shima. I said closest ship a lot there, but as you can tell, we are in fact detected, but we have no more radars, as it did use pretty much all of them. So Shimikaze is around, but I don't think he is going to be able to win. He smokes up and he opens up, and this low on health and that close to a rune is death for him. So as you can see, our team did earn a victory. And here's another nice thing about the Missouri is she's just a downright moneymaker. 1,279,219 silver was earned. Did 9,730 XP. We earned Confederate and Dreadnought. We did 152,354 points of damage, 2 kills and 2 citadels with 59 shell hits, and 2 spotting. We were top of the team with a base XP of 2,106, and props to the Yamato captain that did manage to get 4 kills. Came in second with a base XP of 1,948. Damage wise, predominantly our most major damage was against that North Carolina, but for the most part, most of our damage was spread out throughout the enemy team. Main guns did 148,493, while our secondaries did 3,861. Potential damage was in fact 1,136, but not a bad battle in the Missouri. And hopefully here in a few days we'll have a video for you guys on the Buffalo. And especially if anyone is currently grinding up the heavy cruiser line, maybe you'll kind of understand what to expect for the tier 9 Buffalo. But we'll see how it goes. Anyways, this is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.